getting it off my head because it's so whatever.
Ready?
Sure, yeah. Welcome to Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. It is the final game of the regular season, and if YD wants to end up on top in the East, they're going to need a win and a little bit of help from the Orleans Firebirds, or rather the Chatham Anglers, in beating Orleans. We'll keep an eye on that scoreboard. It starts at 6:30, but right now, YD has a tall task ahead of them, and some lineup changes as well. RJ Austin and Enzo Apodaca no longer here, so as always, it's Perri, Kitei alongside Luke, West, Poley, and Luke. This game, by all means, is important if YD wants to win the East Division, but almost more importantly, it's an important momentum changer for going into the playoffs starting on Friday.
Yeah, and especially the way these last couple of games have unfolded for YD, where things have really not gone according to plan. This was YD's division to lose about a week ago, and now the Red Sox find themselves in second place. Still possible, like you said, for them to win the division, but they're going to need some help. But yeah, I think it's very important headed into the off day tomorrow, before they will have a home game regardless of what happens tonight, to begin the first round of the playoffs. You really got to get that momentum back, and that starts right here in trying to pick up a win against a team that has struggled this season in Wareham.
It also determines who they will be playing on Friday, Wareham or Brewster. Should be a good one. Coming up tonight, taking a look at the lineup, it's Bryson Schaefer starting off on the mound for Wareham, and for YD, Gage Williams will get his first start.
Yeah, Williams looked really good, I thought, in his first appearance out of the bullpen from Georgia Gwinnett, and interested to see what he looks like here today, starting in the final game of the regular season as he heads into the playoffs. I don't imagine we see him again in a starting role, but see if he can build some confidence out of the start, get YD some quality innings here today, and maybe build forward towards hopefully being a reliable guy out of the bullpen for the Red Sox in what should hopefully be a deep playoff run.
And it's been the pitching that has been the story the past couple of days. YD is now on a losing streak, and while the bats have showed up at some points, 14 hits yesterday, only scored 4 runs. You have to find ways to get those guys across. You can't leave 14 guys on board. A lot of 14s all around the place yesterday in an 11-4 loss versus Orleans. Started off with a poor first inning from Brady Montgomery, who was going for that opener role, something we haven't really seen all season. For the most part, YD starting pitching has gone 4, 5, 6 innings. Yeah,
Montgomery yesterday struggled a little bit. It was good that he was somewhat able to rebound at the plate. He had a single and a double, also a sac fly, but just struggled with some of the walks. YD did eventually tie it up after, as they picked Montgomery back up, but Gavin Bruni came in, had a couple of good innings following the opener, and then just kind of ran out of gas. And from that point on, it didn't really feel like the Red Sox were in the game. They made a couple runs late before the big inning coming from Orleans in the 8th, when they brought across the 3 that really felt like the dagger in that game yesterday. And Red Sox picked up their 2nd straight loss. Not a direction you want to be trending heading into the playoffs, but the good news is that there's one more game to play here in the regular season tonight.
The streakiness has been the story and will continue to be the story when we get to playoffs that are formatted in a best 2 out of 3 series. So streakiness will matter, but YD has, they were at a point early in the season where they just were not losing consecutive games, and it took a lot more to beat them, honestly, and lately none of the games have been close, either lopsided towards YD or lopsided against YD, and I can't really put a finger on why exactly none of these games end up being close at the end.
Away from the batting cages and out of the bullpen areas. Please throw rubbish into the barrels and recycle the aluminum cans in special barrels located around the park. Cameras and video cameras.
As we await first pitch here at Spillane Field, Skylar King will be leading off for the Red Sox. His debut was yesterday out of West Virginia University. He had 2 bunt singles. One of them, he dove head first into first base to slide under a tag attempted to be put on by the Orleans pitcher. It was an electric play, but unfortunately YD could not bring him around all day. As with many of the guys that got on base consistently. A couple of double plays shut down what looked to be rallies forming. But today is a new day, and if they want the East Division, it starts with a win right here. Schaefer fires the first pitch, and King goes after it. Loop shot up the middle, scooped by J.C. Cologne, but King runs it out. In the leadoff spot, already making a difference. And he's aboard with nobody out for Ryan Stafford.
Already seeing the amount of speed that Skylar King has, and right off the bat, there was no chance for J.C. Cologne at short. Good that he was able to keep that in the infield, but pretty simple infield single there for Skylar King to leg out.
Ryan Stafford had a really good day yesterday. He was a bright spot for YD, multiple hits, 3 of them. He's been on such a hot streak at the plate that when he's not behind the plate, we see him in the outfield, as he is today. First pitch flies in, bunts shown, but it's way above the head, and he takes for ball 1. Pitch comes in. Strike 1 to Ryan Stafford. It's quiet here at Spillane Field. It's the least attended ballpark of all of those in the Cape League. Schaefer checks the runner, now fires a pickoff move, and King is caught in a rundown, making his way back towards first, and the tag is applied. A nice move from Bryce Schaefer. Caught Skylar King lacking, and just like that, similarly to yesterday, what looked like a good start for YD has been quickly erased.
Yeah, he doesn't have a tell towards first. He'll just kind of throw over without really showing whether or not he's going to throw home or go over to it, and King just got caught leaning there.
That one fooled me. I thought that pitch was coming home. Ball 2 flies in high to Stafford. That counts 2-1 on him, with the base paths now clear. The 2-1 flies in on the inside half, as Hernandez might have clipped a home plate umpire in the face on the face masks. 3-1 for Stafford with 1 out at the top of the first inning. Schaefer fires outside, ball 4, and YD has another base runner on first. It's a shame that Skylar King is no longer there to advance.
Right fielder number 15, Braden Montgomery from Stanford.
Braden Montgomery out of Stanford, following up Ryan Stafford. Montgomery, the switch hitter, is batting from the right side against the lefty Schaefer. First pitch on the way. Flies high and away for ball 1. Stafford with a conservative lead on first. Schaefer has a good view as a lefty over there. Next one flies in outside again, ball 2. And Hernandez wants a quick word with Bryson Schaefer.
It's been a little bit wild after that first pitch single from Skylar King. Trying to get back to the zone here. He's thrown 2 strikes through 8 pitches.
Reset now behind the plate. Montgomery ahead 2-0. Next pitch on the way, on the ground up towards short. Sneaks through the 5-6 hole. And Stafford is safe on second. Perfectly splits Brooks and Cologne. And Montgomery just sneaks it through the gap for another base hit, 2 in a row now. Or 2 total.
Schaffer just can't catch a break. That was what he wanted, a rollover that could have been turned 5-4-3, but it just was in the right spot to split the infield.
First pitch to Hines, popped sky high towards the infield. Shortstop Cologne underneath it, and he camps out to make the grab. Hines went after the first pitch. 2 gone now for the Red Sox with 2 aboard for Dub lead.
from UC Irvine.
back in the lineup. We didn't see him yesterday because when Montgomery started on the mound, he took over that DH spot as well, and Hunter Hines played at first for the first time in a long time, but today back to the regular formation with Gleed holding down the corner. First pitch comes in low, 4-1. Moved up slightly in the lineup at number 5, usually comes in at the 6th spot, but Brady Day is there today. Schaefer fires, push foul towards the parking lot. 1-1 with 2 gone for Dub Gleed. First time in a while we're not seeing Xander Darby at third, Ryan Jackson at short. Hardy's been shifted over to third. Schaefer, a long look, and the next pitch fouled away as well towards the light pole. 1-2, 2 outs. Schaefer from the stretch, a long stretch, swinging the arm. Wareham in the home whites, YD in the road reds. Schaefer fires, bumped foul once again. Gleed has pushed all 3 of these in a row over that right side fence. Count stays at 1-2, 2 aboard, 2 gone. The pitch, again, it just tipped foul. Gleed got the slightest bit of the bat underneath it and will stay at 1-2. Next one comes in, runs in on Gleed, and it's 2-2. Gleed now facing the 7th pitch of the at-bat. The sun is shining here, a big difference from the first time YD came to Wareham. The 2-2, again touched foul, and Gleed continues to battle to keep the inning alive for the Red Sox. Schaefer checking on the lead runner, now fires. Gleed lines it over to third, caught by Brooks on the run. And that retires the side. YD gets 3 base runners, leaves 2 on, and will go scoreless to the home half. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
From South Florida.
Bottom half of the first, Bobby Bozer leading off for Wareham. Bozer has been here for a while. He has become one of the Wareham's key players. First pitch from Gage Williams is cranked foul. Williams taking a long pause, has to be wary of the pitch clock. Bodes are all the way back in the box on the right side. Next pitch on the way, bumped foul again. Strike two.
You can keep that foul ball courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
Bozer out of the University of South Florida takes ball one, fired in from Gage Williams. Takes a deep breath to reset, counts 1 and 2. The YD infield is playing straight up with Day moved over behind the bag at second base. Next pitch comes in from Williams just off the plate, ball two. A tough take from Bozer on a 2-strike count, but it goes his way. Williams set at the belt. Covers the face, now kicks and deals. Off the plate again, and the count is full to the leadoff for the Gatemen. Williams comes out of a Georgia Gwinnett College. Next pitch on the ground, right into the shift. Day there to collect on a piece of hitting that would normally sneak through the infield. But the analytics do their thing, and there's one gone in the bottom of the first.
Number 17, Dorian Gonzalez from the University of Miami.
It's the first time we've seen Brady Day in a little while in the lineup for YD.
First pitch comes inside on Dorian Gonzalez. Out of Miami, the Hurricanes. He's a Miami, Florida native. The 1-0 chopped up the first baseline, just foul, snagged by Gleed anyways, and it's 1-1. 2023, Gonzalez mostly came in as a late game defensive sub or a pinch runner. In 53 games played, he only had 88 at-bats. Next pitch comes in, swung on and missed. Comes off the face mask of Greg Bozzo behind the plate. His first time in the starting spot over there with Stafford in left field. The 1-2 flies in high. Bozzo reaches all the way up to collect. Gonzalez is batting .240 on the Cape this season in 34 games, 104 at-bats. Williams nods the 2-1. Huge swing and miss, strike three. It's actually a 1-2 coming in, and that was the third strike as my count was backwards in my head. Grant Sherrod up, facing YD for the first time out of South Carolina upstate, going into his senior year. First pitch to him flies in outside for ball one. Sherrod is a utility player, plays all around the field. Stands at 6'4" in the righty box. Williams fires, spikes it in the dirt. Ball two. He batted .335 for South Carolina upstate in 2023 and in 57 games played on the season. Counts 2-0. Williams fires. Swung on and missed as it drops low, and he got the chase for strike one. Bozzo at the back part of the box puts it on the ground towards short off the one hop from Jackson. His throw well in time to Gleed. Nicely scooped out at the sixth position, and that's three gone For the Red Sox, Gage Williams faces the minimum in the bottom of the first, and we head to the top half of the second on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Starting off the top of the second, it's Brady Day at the plate, batting in the 6th hole today. We haven't seen him in a couple of games, but back at second today. Day was drafted earlier this season in the 12th round by the Atlanta Braves and declined to sign to return to Kansas State for another year as the 1-0 flies in off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes to the left-handed middle infielder. Schaefer shrugs, pitches high and inside, 3-0 for Day. YD looking for a leadoff base runner for the first 2 innings in a row. Day set in the back of the box on the left side. Schaefer fires, strike at the top of the zone. Day thought it was ball 4, took a couple of steps before returning and is back in the box. Weaving the maroon and black bat, ball 4 comes in, almost hits him, and he runs out of the way. He'll take a base, and YD will have a leadoff base runner for the 2nd inning in a row.
Ryan Jackson from the University of Southern California.
I think YD's really needing to take advantage of how wild Schaffer has been. They stranded 2 in that first inning. If he's going to continue to pitch around the zone like this, they need to do damage on him before he comes out of the game.
First pitch on the way to Ryan Jackson. Flies high and away again for ball 1. Schaefer now has thrown more balls than strikes here early on. He has 24 total pitches. Jackson takes a strike on the inside corner, the fastball over the right side of the plate. Jackson out of USC. Southern California, not South Carolina. The 1-1 on the ground up the middle towards short, and it's under the glove of J.C. Colon. Into the outfield, Day rounding second, heading for third, and he gets there safely, taking advantage of a misplay by Wareham. Colon completely lost it, and Sherrod had to come in from left field. Waiting for the scorer's decision, but I anticipate an error on Wareham for that one.
That was really good base running by Brady Day to take third there. I don't think anyone from Wareham was really hurrying to that ball thinking he was going to try to stretch that.
A soft pickoff towards first. Jackson scampers back there, no real threat. We haven't seen the same kind of pickoff move that got Skylar King in the first inning from Schaefer. Might see it again. First pitch comes in to Greg Bozzo, wearing number 14 today. That threw me off for a second. He was listed at number 11, but it is Greg Bozzo in the righty box, and that's strike 1. A lefty on righty matchup. The 0-1 runs inside. It's 1-1. Nobody out. Runners on the corners for YD. looking to strike first here at Spillane Field. Bazo set, next pitch on the way, chopped up the middle towards short. One out at second, but no time to put on the turn as the ball slowed down. Coming on the infield, so Day comes across to score. YD leads 1-0, and he essentially replaces Jackson over on first.
Third baseman, number 11.
First RBI for Bazo, and YD clawing ahead here in the second inning. Remember last time we were here, the Red Sox led most of the way at Spillane Field before a late rally by Wareham got them the game.
First pitch to Theo Hardy. Over the plate, strike one. 3 hits now for YD, 1 run. That was ruled an error by Wareham. Bazo on first, he's the only base runner. Schaefer kicks, fires, bunt is shown. Called strike two, and Theo Hardy ran across it. 0-2 to Hardy, another switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty pitcher out of San Jose State. The 0-2 lined up the middle, that gets through. Bazo will hold up at second, and YD has their 4th hit of the day here in the second inning. Runners on first and second now as the lineup flips back over to Skylar King.
We are really seeing now what Theo Hardy has been advertised as for the Red Sox, which is a base hit machine. Going back up the middle for another one there, and his average continuing to rise.
King shows bunt again and can't lay it down this time. He had 2 bunt singles yesterday. Started off with a hit here, a bloop shot towards right field that snuck past. 3 for 6 to start off his time here on the Cape. The 1-0 flies in just inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Excuse me, that was 1-1 off the foul ball. Goes after this one, pushes it foul again, and it's 1-2. Bazo, the lead runner, on second. Hardy on first, 1 out. Top of the second inning, YD leads 1-0. Pitch on the way, and it's pushed foul up the first baseline. It was a reaching swing from King, a defensive swing. It was a slow roller, but just snuck to the right side of the line. Luckily for King, that could have spelled 2 outs for the Red Sox. Count stays at 1-2. Schaefer swinging the arm. The glove set on the knee. Checks that lead runner. Now the pitch. Inside, 2-2. Schaefer fires. Ball just inside, ball 3. And the count is full to Skylar King. Another pitch could load the bases. And King flies it out towards shallow center field, just over the head of Cologne. And the bases are loaded. Skylar King with his 2nd hit of the day. He's 2 for 2.
Left fielder, number 7, Ryan.
And man, King is just finding ways to get hits, whether it be by bunts like we saw yesterday or just little bloop shot pop-ups like we saw there. He is getting on base, which you love to see for the new guy.
Especially with the absence of RJ Austin, who played a similar role in that leadoff spot. Stafford goes swinging at the first pitch of his 2nd time around and skies it foul over the backstop, 0-1. Next pitch on the way. called a fair ball. It bounced off the plate. This will be an argument for sure as Coach Pickler is coming out. Stafford thought it was foul. It was called fair. Hernandez stepped on the plate and then threw it to first for the double play, and that ended the inning. That's a really unfortunate end to things.
Yeah, Pick is irate. He is not happy, and he's going to ask for the umpires to meet now. So the inning may not be 100% over yet. We'll have to see.
It's really a tough call. If it bounces on the plate and goes into fair territory, that's a fair ball.
Theo Hardy was saying that one of the umpires, Hardy was on the bases. Hardy is maintaining that he should stay there, and now they are going to affirm the call that he was out. Hardy was saying somebody said foul ball, but it will be a double play, and that'll end the inning.
Possibly the unluckiest thing that could have come off Stafford's bat will step aside as Williams comes back to the mound. YD leads 1-0, left the bases loaded on that one, and we'll be back for the bottom of the second on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
West Virginia.
Williams faced the minimum in the first. Now we'll face Grant Hussey as the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second. After YD left him loaded, they've left 4 on base now. Hussey swings away and misses for strike 1. The infield for YD backed all the way up to the grass. Day in the shallow outfield. Jackson coming over, position behind the bag. Next pitch on the way. Another swing and miss from Hussey. He's down 0-2. Now Hardy and Jackson will switch with the third baseman on the right side of the bag. We've seen this shift all season, and Jackson the lone defender between second and third. The 0-2 ripped out towards right field, heading back to the wall, and underneath it, Brady Montgomery on the run is out there for out number 1. Looked good off the bat, heading towards the gap, but hung up there just enough for Montgomery to get underneath it, and there's one gone in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's a really deep part of the ballpark to hit to for Hussey. You're going to have to really muscle one if you're going to hit a home run there, and it ended up being just short.
First pitch on the way to Michael Brooks. Pushed on the ground, sneaks through the gap into center field. Right up the middle, attacks on the first pitch, and Wareham has their first hit and first base runner.
Designated hitter number 20, Garen Caulfield from Arizona.
Garen Caulfield out of Arizona, the designated hitter today. He's done well against YD, 5 for 12 with 3 runs, an RBI and a walk all season against the Red Sox. First time facing Williams. These teams have not met in a long time as it is spiked in the dirt, nicely blocked by Bozzo to keep Brooks at bay on first, 1-0. Williams spinning the ball in the glove. The 1-0 lined up towards Williams. It hits him. Jackson with the bare hand throws in time to first. That was very hard off the body of Williams. We're taking a quick break to check on him. He looks to be okay. The Red Sox still get one. Nicely done from Ryan Jackson to adjust to the play, pick it up with the bare hand, and still go for the out at first. That's 2 gone now in the bottom half of the second.
That was a heck of a play by Ryan Jackson to barehand that. And Williams taking that one like a champ. He didn't want no medical attention.
Corey Morton has the same shift on the opposite side of the field with 3 on the left side of second for the righty batter out of Yukon. Williams looking back and forth at his only runner. First pitch on the way, bounces and gets past Bazo behind the plate. So Brooks will advance. That just kicked off the knee pads. Bazo out of Northwestern was playing for the Keene Swamp Bats of the NECBL. Was a recent addition to the roster as YD makes a playoff push. First pitch comes inside on Morton for ball 1. A runner on third with 2 outs. The 2-0 spiked in the dirt again, and it's 3-0 to Morton. First times Williams has the 3-0 count, and he deals strike 1 as Morgan was about to place the bat down. The 3-1 comes in low and outside. Ball 4, runners on the corners for Wareham as they try to tie this game. YD leads 1-0 in the bottom half of the second. Hernandez, the catcher at the plate. His first time around in the 8-hole for the Gatemen. Wareham has already been eliminated from playoff contention, as has Chatham in the East. That's been set this whole week. First pitch to Hernandez is cut on and missed for strike 1. Hernandez out of Seton Hall, teammate of former Red Sox Max Vieira. Pick off towards first from Williams, flies in high, no tag applied. Hardy runs over to third to check on the runner over there. 0-1 to Hernandez, 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Williams kicks and deals, runner goes at second. And they'll give him the bag. Bazo pump fakes but does not throw. As called strike 2 comes in on Hernandez, so Morton reaches second on defensive indifference. The force at second taken away now, runners on second and third. The 0-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Bazo collects behind the plate, and that retires the side. Williams works himself out of a jam to keep the Gatemen scoreless after 2, heading to the top of the third on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the third at Spillane Field. YD back at the plate with Montgomery leading off. In a 1-0 game, YD is in the lead. The Gatemen left 2 on base in the bottom of the second. First pitch on the way to Montgomery. Popped up a mile high. Should be a play on it. Over towards the YD dugout. And just reaches inside the dugout out of fair territory. And Montgomery will live to see another day. Hernandez was all the way over there, but it just was past the tip of his glove. Schaefer reset, goes into this lunge position all the way out, then comes back, now fires, and Montgomery pushes it foul over the backstop on a line. He's down 0-2. The 0-2 hits him hard on either the elbow pad or just like behind it on the rib cage. And Hines will take a base. It was ball 4 and a hit by pitch.
Ouch. I think that got him right on the ribs. Right on his number 44 in the lower part of his uniform. That certainly hurts, especially in a 3-ball count. It's ball 4 anyway, but plunks you.
Gleed back at the plate. And he takes strike 1, a fastball in on the hands. Gleed out of UC Irvine. As ball 1 flies in. Outside, it's 1-1. 1 out, top of the third. YD leads 1-0. Hunter Hines, the lead runner on first. Schaefer fires, popped up foul and out of play. Hines, a very small lead. The 1-2 outside, and it's 2-2. The 2-1 cranked into the net on this side. Now it's 2-2. The scoreboard was ahead of me. That was my mistake, but 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Dub Gleed, the UC Irvine Anteater. He's become the go-to first baseman for YD this summer. Pitch on the way, flies high at the head, and it's a full count. Schaefer up to 55 pitches already, 25 balls, 30 strikes. Here comes the payoff. Off the tip of the bat, foul. And the count will stay the same. Three free passes for Schaefer already, 2 walks, and that hit by pitch on Hines. 3-2. Did that hit him again? Off the elbow pad, and there's 2 hit batters in a row on what would have been ball 4. 4th free pass of the day, and Gleed and Hines have reached in similar fashion.
Thankfully for Gleed, that just grazed his elbow pad, and he didn't have to wear one as painfully as Hunter Hines did, but
it'll leave a bruise for sure. Brady Day at the plate, 1 gone. Runners on first and second. He walked his first time around and takes ball 1 inside. Schaefer checks, deals, strike 1. Five hits for YD already, just 1 run to show for it. 1-1. Crank towards center field, heading towards the gap, and it drops in the left center gap. Hines is waved around third. The throw comes in and is cut off. An RBI single for Brady Day. Hines grimacing, going back to the dugout, but comes around from second to score, and it's 2-0 Red Sox.
Big man showing off the wheels. Wasn't going on contact as that ball had a chance at being caught, but just fell down, and Hines was getting waved around to try and score and did so pretty easily there.
And we will see our first mound meeting of the day for the Gatemen. The infield all meeting at the moment perfectly in the sunlight as we're approaching golden hour here at Spillane Field. The last time these teams faced here was a long time ago at the beginning of the season. It was a hazy, rainy time. The air just felt heavy and wet the entire time. It was probably the worst weather night we've had to play a game through all season. Umpires coming out to break up this mound meeting. It's gone on a little bit too long. Hernandez the first to start kicking dirt around, maybe walking back home, but the rest of the infield's still there. And finally, the meeting breaks up as everyone heads back to their positions. Fresh count for Ryan Jackson coming. Jackson batting .321 through his 19 games on the plate, on the Cape. As strike one comes in on that top half of the outside. Oh and 1, runners on first and second. 6 hits, 2 runs for YD, 1 hit, no runs for Wareham. Pitch on the way, this time the bottom of the zone. Nicely framed by Hernandez, and it's in there for a called strike 2. Schaefer checks that lead runner. The 0-2 on the way, just low. Ball 1, a really dangerous take from Jackson. We've seen Montgomery rung up already in this inning. But Jackson gets away with one, and it's 1-2. Schaefer fires from the stretch. Runs inside on the break, and it's 2-2. Bryson Schaefer plays at Coastal Carolina. We've seen a lot of Chanticleers here this season. Derek Bender, Caden Bodine on Bourne are 2 of them. The 2-2 runners both go, and the hit and run is pushed foul by Jackson. Gleed and Day were on the move at the same time. Could have been interesting, as you can only throw one of them out. The throw likely would have come towards third. Still 2-2 for Jackson, 1 out, runners on first and second. YD leads 2-0. The pitch, Jackson moves the shoulders but checks the swing as it flies in high. The count has run full once again. Same situation as Dub Gleed was facing before he was plunked on the elbow. The payoff, skied out towards right field, but foul and into the batting cage is over there. So Jackson will see another. It'll be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Schaefer up to 67 pitches through 2 1/3. Jackson wiggling the red bat in the righty box. Schaefer kicks, fires, runners go, and it's on the ground towards short. The only play is over to first as the hit and run is executed perfectly. Both runners advance. Jackson's thrown out, so there's 2 gone, but the runners are both now in scoring position.
Yeah, good fight there from Jackson. Just couldn't quite get one. That's 2 ground balls now too short from him. Wasn't the beneficiary of an error that time like he was the first time around.
Greg Bozzo reached on a fielder's choice his first time. It was the first RBI of the day for the Red Sox, who lead 2-0 with 2 in scoring position as Bozzo will crank it on a line towards short. Colon snags it, and the hit from Bozzo is robbed. YD leaves 2 more on base. And that's it for the top half of the third. YD leading 2-0 at Spillane Field. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third at Spillane Field, and Greg Williams is back out on the mound for his third inning of work.
Shortstop number 32, J.C. Cologne from
YD
Missouri.
left 2 more on base. That's total 6 runners left on board for YD in a 2-0 game. First pitch flies in, called strike 1 from Williams. J.C. Cologne at the plate. Check swing on ball 1. Wareham will flip the order over as Cologne is in the 9 spot today. Williams nods, covers the face, now fires. The 1-1 flies outside. It's 2-1. Wareham has yet to put a leadoff runner on board. The 2-1 almost clips him. And it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Cologne in a hitter's count right now. Number 32 in the righty box. The pitch is cranked just over the head of the leaping Ryan Jackson. And he's going for second. The throw comes in and beats him by about a mile. Cologne thinks on the swimmer's move, he snuck his hand in there. He thought that Stafford lost it for too long, and yes, he was moving a little slowly, but once he saw the runner break, he had the throw in plenty of time. So what would have been a leadoff hit is erased on the gun from Stafford. Brings up Bobby Bozer at the top of the order, 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch on the way from Williams. In there for strike 1. Regular infield against Bozer. The pitch on the way, bounced in the ground. And it's a ball and a strike to the South Florida Bull. Williams fires. It's hit well out towards left field, but Stafford has a beat on it. Takes a couple of steps to get underneath it, and that's 2 gone quickly here in the third.
I think Gage Williams will have the go-ahead to go pretty deep in this game if he can. With the playoffs coming up, if he can keep throwing like he is now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him for a couple more innings.
First pitch comes in, strike 1 at the top of the zone to Dorian Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1, went down swinging against Williams in the first. Just the 38 pitch 38th pitch from Williams today. The 0-1 popped up towards shallow center field, sprinting in. Skylar King underneath it on the run. Out number 3, 39 pitches through 3 innings for Gage Williams, and we're heading to the top of the 4th on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th inning here from Wareham. Luke West Poley, Perri, Kitei, and Ben Strover joining us here for the middle innings in the final regular season game for YD. Red Sox leading 2-0 over the Wareham Gatemen, and the 9-man in the order, Theo Hardy, coming up against a new pitcher. It is Quinn Holt making his 2nd appearance for the Gatemen this season. First pitch on the way to Hardy. Swings and pops it up left side. This tails away from the field of play, and it will get out of play over the bleachers. 0-1. This is your boy, Ben. We did not plan it like this at all, but former Gaithersburg Giant out of the Ripken League, Quinn Holt. 0-1 pitch. Fouled back.
Yeah, it was really funny how Quinn is now pitching in this game that I'm here at, because he called me about 3 nights ago and said, I'll see you next week. I'm coming to the Cape. He just got called up from the Coastal Plains League, played with the Florence Flamingos, and now he's up here. He's really excited, so it's cool to see him pitching here against YD.
0-2 to Hardy. And he fouls it off behind home. It'll stay the same at 0-2. He had a 5.77 ERA, started 8 games for the Florence Flamingos, and is undecided about where he'll be playing his college ball next year out of Hartford Community College. 0-2. Lined out towards left center field. That will drop in for a base hit. Cut off by Sherrod before it gets to the wall. A long turnaround first by Hardy, but he will shuffle back. It's a leadoff single by the 9-man in the order. He's 2 for 2 for the Red Sox. And a man on first for the top of the order, Skylar King, who is also 2 for 2.
Theo Hardy has been so fantastic in the bottom of the order as of late, getting hot just when YD needs him. When a couple of their good bats have now gone and they're heading towards the playoff, it's the perfect time for him to be figuring it out at the plate.
First pitch on the way. The bunt is squared and pulled back. Pitch sinks low for ball 1 against Skylar King, who got 2 bunt singles yesterday, trying to help YD potentially add on to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Red Sox out hitting the Wareham Gatemen 7-2.
3 of these first 4 innings, YD has a leadoff runner on base.
First pitch on the way. Runner goes. Bunt is down. Put up the first base line. Fielded cleanly by Holt. He'll underhand flip to first for the out. We have seen Skylar King test the defense. That time, Holt was ready for it. It is a sacrifice And so King's batting average on the day stays perfect. The runner into scoring position. Hardy now on second for Ryan Stafford with one away. Stafford grounded into a double play on one of the weirdest plays we've seen all season his last time up. First pitch on the way. Stafford takes sign away for ball one. Grounded a ball that hit off of home plate. Red Sox, who had the bases loaded, all thought it was a foul ball, but behind the plate, Yadier Hernandez tapped on the plate and then threw to first to double up. 0-1, lined over to first. The catch is made. A look back towards second by Hussey, but no one was covering the bag. Nearly a second double play that Stafford would unluckily find himself hitting into, but instead Hardy gets back to it, and now a runner on second and two away. Braden Montgomery will be the batter, the last chance to potentially add to this 2-0 lead for the Red Sox in the away half of the fourth. First pitch on the way to Montgomery. And he takes the ball low, 1-0. First time we are seeing Montgomery bat from the lefty box, the switch hitter, against a new right-hander into the game, Quinn Holt. 1 ball, no strikes. The kick and pitch. High at the shoulders. A slight check swing from Montgomery, but he holds up and he's ahead in the count 2-0.
Montgomery's going to be one of the most important pieces of any kind of YD playoff run, a guy who was here for the playoffs last year, or someone who can maybe spark the energy back into this team.
2-0. High at the letters again, ball 3, and especially with the departure of R.J. Austin and Enzo Apodaca, that further increases the importance of having a superstar like Braden Montgomery on your squad in your batting lineup. 3-0. Strike painted on the inner half of the plate there. It's 3-1. Montgomery is 1 for 2. Coming into today, he was hitting .319, 15 for 47, 1 home run and 9 driven in. 3-1 count and pitch. And he grounds this one over first base side. It's through into right for a base hit. Hardy hustling around third. He will score as the throw is cut off. It's an RBI single for Braden Montgomery. And the Red Sox have scored a run for the third straight inning. It's 3-0 YD.
Really similar to his first hit, just on the opposite side. A grounder not hit that hard, looks off the bat like it's going to be a routine out, and somehow just sneaks through a gap in the infield.
That's just a result of perfect patience at the plate, too. He worked that count 3-0, then 3-1, and he got the fastball he was looking for, and he didn't miss it right there.
First pitch to Hines, runner goes. Hines takes the ball in, throw down to second is not in time. Montgomery slides underneath it for the stolen base as Hunter Hines moves ahead 1-0.
First time we've seen Montgomery steal a base. He hasn't even been sent yet.
So a runner on second now with YD up 3-0, 2 away in the fourth. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Hines was out in front of it. It's a ball and a strike. Hunter is 0 for 1 with a pop out to short, but his last time up he was nailed in the ribs by a pitch and then came around to score. 1 ball, 1 strike right on left. The kick and the pitch. And this one hit well out towards deep right field. Morton going back at the wall. It is gone. Hunter Hines, 13th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. And the Red Sox add on a pair in the fourth.
Nobody more excited right now than R.J. Austin, who told him before the game, go out there and hit bombs. He said, that's what I'm planning on, and gets it done here. Austin, the first to greet him at home after Braden Montgomery.
Well, that's just a great sight. R.J. Austin, who got banged up, they won't have him for this playoff run, but to see him still supporting his teammates, he's created special bonds with players like Hines this summer, so that's just a really special thing to see. The entire dugout is out there to greet him. That's awesome.
13th of the year for Hines makes it a 5-0 game. Now Dub Gleed up with the bases clear. First pitch, and he hits this one on the ground coming in from third. It's scooped up by Brooks. He sidearms on to first in time, and that retires the side. But the Red Sox, with their biggest run inning of the game so far, they strike for 3 in the top of the fourth, and they lead 5-0 as we head to the home half. 3-4-5 due up for the Gatemen when we come back. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Last of the fourth inning here from Wareham. Luke West Poley, Perri, Kitei, and Ben Strober with you in the final game of the regular season for YD, who lead 5-0 over the Gatemen. Grant Sherrod at the plate against Gage Williams. The wind and first pitch is a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes to an 0-for-1 Grant Sherrod. YD scored 3 runs in the last inning. A 2-run shot by Hunter Hines, highlighting the top of the fourth. Ball and no strikes. Williams deals inside, and it clipped him. So Sherrod just had that one graze off the inner part of him, and he reaches on the hit by pitch. First hit batter by Gage Williams, who has now issued 2 free passes in addition to his 2 hits, but outside of that has been strong in the start here for YD. Runner on first, nobody out for Grant Hussey. He flew out to right his first time up. YD out hitting Wareham 8-2 right now. First pitch on the way. Hussey takes the ball above the letters, 1-0. Williams has been out of the stretch the last 2 innings now. Having to do it again here for a third straight. Small lead on first by Sherrod. The kick quickly here with Hussey stepping back in. Now a longer hold. He sets above the belt. And pitch. A ball inside. Briefly pops out of the glove of Greg Bozzo behind the plate, but he scoops it up off of the dirt quickly, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Pitch. That misses down low, 3-1. Hussey hit a home run here at Spillane Field the first time these two sides met in Wareham. Has a runner on first, nobody out, in a 5-0 game, YD in front. 3-1 pitch, low for ball 4. A dirt grazer and back-to-back free passes issued by Gage Williams here in the bottom of the 4th. And now one of 2 members of this Gatemen lineup with a hit. Michael Brooks coming up to the plate, first and second, nobody out. Brooks 1 for 1 with a base hit, right on right. Williams from the first base side of the rubber fires home. Way outside as Bozzo had to come over to his right to get to that ball. 1 ball, no strikes, the count.
Coming into today, Brooks was batting .205 through his first 13 appearances. In his 14th start, he's 1 for 1, and we have a coach coming out of the YD dugout, Alex Freeport.
So YD will meet up. Not all of the infield, but Hardy, Bozzo, and Williams. Can hear now some throwing going on behind the right field fence in the YD pen. As the Red Sox lead at 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning in the regular season finale.
Still scoreless between Orleans and Chatham. We will keep you updated. It's the bottom of the 2nd over there.
Meaning on the mound will break up. If YD can gain 1 point on the Firebirds today in any fashion, the Red Sox will be division champions, which would mean a win and an Orleans loss or tie, or a tie and an Orleans loss. Mound visit has broken up. It's a 1-0 count, and Gage Williams will get back to it here against Michael Brooks. He sets, bouncing the front toe, kicks and deals. A ball off the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. YD fell to Orleans yesterday in a game that could have been decisive in the division race had the Red Sox won it. Fell 11-4, the final in that one. Sox have dropped 2 straight. 2-0 the count. A breath and now the pitch. Fastball paints the black outer half of the zone. Belt high, and it's 2-1.
Prior to that pitch, Williams had reached 48 total pitches. He was exactly at 24 balls and 24 strikes, but that one runs ahead in the strike race at 25.
2-1 count to Michael Brooks. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip. Beaten into Greg Bozzo behind the plate, and it's 2-2. First and second, nobody out. Whitey up 5-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Brooks will step back in, working from the back of the righty box. Bozzo looks to his dugout for the pitch-com sign, getting his first start behind the plate for the Red Sox. The 2-2 offering. Swing and a pop-up, middle of the infield. Doug Gleed stepping back, infield fly is called. This Gleed makes the catch, and there's one out. Runners forced to stay put on the infield fly. And now that brings up Garen Caulfield, who smoked the ball up the middle his last time. That hit off of Gage Williams and then ricocheted over to short, where Ryan Jackson promptly barehanded and threw him out. First and second, one away in the bottom of the fourth, and a 5-0 YD lead. Again, right on right. Williams throws. And a liner out towards center field should be playable for King. Not much movement. He makes the catch and will fire it back in with the runner staying put. Just a one-pitch at bat there, and there's two away as Caulfield is retired. Two gone with runners still on first and second. And Corey Morton, who walked his first time up, will be the gate man trying to keep this inning going and cut into Whitey's 5-0 lead. Man in scoring position, another one on first for him. Third straight righty in the batting order. Williams kicks and deals. Bouncer foul over towards the Wareham dugout, and it's 0-1.
Morton was a first-team All-Big East selection out of UConn in 2022. 2023 didn't have a bad year at all, batted .329 and was part of the Gainesville Regional All-Tournament team. Started every game for UConn in the outfield.
0-1 pitch. A ball misses outside, 1-1. UConn program that had a really strong year. They were upset by Xavier in the Big East tournament, but were a top 10 team for a lot of the year. They have built a powerhouse program in the Northeast. Good representation on Cape here as well. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Morton. The kick and deal. Swinging a pop-up, right side, slicing out of play. That'll land in the second row of the bleachers above the YD dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Corey Morton. First and second, 2 away. 5-0 the Red Sox lead. 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third. 3 in the top of this inning in the fourth. Now in the bottom half, Gage Williams trying to retire the side in a 2-strike count here. 2 away. 1-2 pitch. Bounced in, chested down by Bozzo, and no movement on the base paths. That'll even the count at 2-2. Williams out of Georgia Gwinnett, who's making his first start. He's crossed over the 50 pitch mark through 3 2/3. 2-2 pitch. Check swing, foul ball. And so we'll do it again. The count stays the same as Morton will see another. For Williams, came in having thrown 7 innings for YD this season. 7.71 ERA for the righty out of Georgia Gwinnett. Powerhouse program in the NAIA level. 2-2. Up high, ball 3.
The only base runners in this inning off free passes for Gage Williams. He had 2 in a row and now has done a nice job picking up the slack. Has recorded 2 outs since then, trying to strand it here.
Runners get a head start. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So that loads the bases. Morton with his second walk in as many plate appearances. And now Yadier Hernandez will try to get Wareham back into this game. He can do it with 1 swing. Gatemen down 5-0, but with the bases juiced, they could make a healthy chunk off just 1 hit. Back from the windup, first pitch on the way. A ball that clips the inside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Hernandez, who struck out swinging his first time. Ducks on the pond. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He was way late on that one. He looked like he almost stopped his swing and restarted it halfway through. He's down 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. From the belt, kick and deal. Swing and a slowly hit ground ball over to first. Doug Gleed scoops it, takes it himself, and steps on the bag, and that ends the inning. Gage Williams leaves them loaded in the bottom of the 4th and keeps the shutout alive as we head to the middle inning in the 5th. It's 5-0 Red Sox. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th inning, YD leading 5-0 as a new pitcher takes the mound for Wareham. Riley Eichhoff, the righty out of Coastal Carolina, facing Brady Day. First pitch is a fastball high above the number 4 ball 1. Red Sox had their biggest inning in the last inning as they got 3. 1-0 the count, the pitch. Day takes down near the shoe tops, 2 balls, no strikes. Day today is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Eichhoff, the second guy to CCU in the game to pitch. 2-0 is high, ball 3. Wareham starter Bryson Schaefer also coming from Chanticleer program. Quinn Holt pitched an inning in relief in between. 3-0 count, the pitch today. There's a strike on the fastball over the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike to Kansas State Wildcat, headed back to school for his senior year. 3-1 pitch. Grounder up the middle, fielded with the flash of leather by Eichhoff, and he flips over to first for the first out of the inning. Nice play there by the pitcher for Wareham. And that will bring up Ryan Jackson, who's 0 for 2. Bases empty and 1 away in the top of the 5th. YD leading by 5. Eichhoff from the wind brings his foot up and now deals. A ball inside, 1-0.
We have done some digging, and the home run record in the CCBL is 16, including the regular season and the postseason.
1-0 pitch on the way.
Two players have accomplished that, Tyler Horan in 2012 and David Staten in 1988 for Wareham and Brewster, respectively. After that, it's at 14 and then 13, so Hines already up into the top 4.
Last pitch was in for a strike. Now this one comes in, and that's strike 2 on Jackson. So just like that, he's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jackson has reached on an error. Both balls he's put in play have gone to short, 1-2. And he pushes this one the opposite way towards right, coming over on it. Morton makes the catch on the run for the second out of the inning.
Another good swing on the ball by Jackson there, and it seemed like every single game that he's been up here, he's gotten progressively a little bit better. And his average sneakily got up there, 321. He's probably been one of YD's best hitters in recent weeks. He's been that consistent piece that hasn't really cooled off when the team has.
Batter is Greg Bozzo. First pitch on the way, and he pops it up right side and out of play, foul. Yeah, Ryan Jackson has just kind of been a mainstay, plugging away. He doesn't hit a lot of extra base hits, which might be why you don't tend to notice him as much, but then you look down at the scorebook at the end of every game, and he's good for at least 1 or 2 hits. 0-1. Comes inside near the waist. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chatham has taken a 2-0 lead on Orleans in the top of the 3rd. There are no outs. Caden Kent at the plate. Chatham's been on a bit of a heater lately.
1-1. Ball misses in. 2 balls and a strike. Unfortunate, the Anglers have been playing their best baseball of the season after they've been eliminated from playoff contention. They have been probably the hottest team in the Cape League, honestly, over the last week. 2-1 pitch. Strike paints the outer corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 away, 5-0 YD lead in the top of the 5th, and the bases are clear for Greg Bozzo, who's got an RBI today, but is 0 for 2. The wind, the kick, the pitch. Liner out towards left center field. A extended run by Bozer, but he comes over and makes the catch. And that retires the side. The Red Sox go down 1-2-3 for the first time all game in the top of the 5th. We're halfway home from Spillane Field in Wareham. It's 5-0 Red Sox on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Sox up 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-1-2 due up for Wareham. And Gage Williams, who's done well in his first start for the Red Sox, is back out on the bump for his 5th inning of work. So far, no runs off 2 hits for the Gatemen. And Williams stranded them loaded in the last inning. J.C. Colon is 1 for 1 with a single. He was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double his first time up. First pitch on the way to the righty. Bunt is shown and pulled back as the pitch dives low. Ball 1.
Hardy charging in from third base and takes a big loop back around to where he was standing before.
Ball and no strikes to Colon. 256 hitter. The wind, the kick, and deal. Ball in on the hands. Taken on the check swing. 2-0.
Where is Wareham's third base coach right now?
That
That's a great
spot is
question.
vacant. Next pitch on the way up high, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. He is over on the right side of their dugout right now, just leaning up against the fence. And now, as we say that, he will walk out near the coach's box. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch. A strike on the outer corner. Cologne with a step over towards first base. He'll return and immediately be back in the box. Williams set up quickly. Now he winds. 3-1 pitch. A strike shoveled on the low part of the zone. And the count is full. 3 on the left side of the infield with the shift in effect to the righty pull hitter. The payoff pitch to Cologne. Swing and a lifted shot out into right center field. Jogging in Montgomery will put it away with 2 hands mid-outfield. That's the first out of the bottom of the 5th.
At end of the last inning, and then this at-bat right here is just a perfect example for Williams. It shows how beautiful things can be when you just start pounding the zone. He got himself into trouble to hit batsman a couple of walks. And then once he starts hitting the zone, you're pitching the Wood Bat League here. You pitch to contact, good things happen. That's what Coach Scott Pickler likes from them, and that's what Williams did in that bat right there. Came back from 3-0.
Back to the top of the order. First pitch to Bozer is the ball down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Last inning, Gage Williams did not give up a hit in stranding the bases loaded. It was 3 free passes that got the base runners for Wareham, but Williams got out of it scoreless. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Bozer, who is 0 for 2. Pitch on the way. Fastball clips the bottom for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bozer, who's grounded out and flown out in this game. The 220 hitter. 4 home runs for him on the year. Brings some power to the top of this lineup for Wareham. Ball and a strike, the pitch. Misses down low, 2-1. Wareham wearing their home white uniforms for the first time all season. They're wearing the white on white in the final game of the season for the Gatemen. 2-1 pitch. Crushed out towards left field. Stafford racing back on it, and he will make the catch on a line short of the wall. And that is the second out of the inning.
There's some action for Ryan Stafford out there in the left. He told me he likes being a catcher a lot more than he does playing in the outfield because he feels so much more involved with the game, obviously, having to call it, of course, and catch everything. He sometimes feels a little lost out there in left field. But there's a nice play for him.
That's been his spot. Whitey wants him in the batting lineup. 2 away and nobody on. First pitch to Dorian Gonzalez, rolled over foul on the right side. His bat has been so good that you don't want to take him out, but obviously most catchers, especially at this level, just can't play every day. And so the solution to that has been moving Stafford out into left, and it's worked out pretty well this season. 0-1 pitch. Scrapes the dirt down low. A ball and a strike to Dorian Gonzalez, the Miami Hurricane. Right on left, 1-1 count. Base is empty, 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. 5-0 YD. The pitch clubbed foul and out of play. It's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. YD shifted. Brady Day is in right field from second. Theo Hardy, the third baseman, playing to the right of the second base bag. 1-2 pitch. Breaks off the plate. 2-2 now the count to Gonzalez. Williams up to 76 pitches. 2-2 pitch. Just misses a ball upstairs. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Gonzalez as this at-bat prolongs. Williams winds the payoff pitch. Jam shot, left side of the infield. Jackson called off by Hardy. He makes the catch in shallow center, and that's the inning. We're done with 5 here from Wareham, and Gage Williams has put on a gem on the mound for the Red Sox. It's 5-0 YD on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Inning number 6 on the way. Top of the 6th inning, and we are bearers of good news for the Red Sox as over in Orleans, the Chatham Anglers are leading the Firebirds 7-0 midway through their game, as if that scoreline would hold, and this one would, and the Red Sox leading 5-0 here in Wareham. YD would be division champions. We've got a new pitcher taking the bump for Wareham, as it's Packy Bradley Cooney, the future Campbell Camel, who played a couple of years of JUCO in the state of Maryland. And he comes into the game in a 5-0 deficit for the Gatemen against Theo Hardy. First pitch on the way. And Hardy, the switch hitter, takes the ball high, 1-0. Bradley Cooney played 2 seasons at the Community College of Baltimore County, Essex campus. It's a mouthful of a school, 1-0 pitch. High and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Played last summer for the North Shore Navigators. Is committed to play for Campbell next season. Native of Woburn, Massachusetts. 2-0 pitch. High for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Theo Hardy as the Red Sox in control, looking for more after their first scoreless inning since the first and the last. 3-0 pitch. Strike 1, the red light on a pitch on the bottom part of the zone. It's 3-1 to Theo Hardy, who's 2 for 2 and scored a run his last time on base in the 4th. The wind and the 3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4, and Hardy was already making his way towards first before that pitch even got to the plate. He is aboard for the 3rd time. For Bradley Cooney, this has been something of an issue. Last summer for North Shore, he walked 18 batters in 9 innings, has shown a little bit of control issue with the heater from the right side. He throws hard. Fastball up to 96, but has been around the zone in his first couple of college seasons. Back to the top of the order for Skylar King. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. King took a hack at a pitch at shoulder level, came up empty, and that's strike 1. King is 2 for 2. He laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Had a pair of singles before that. Runner on first, nobody out. 5-0 YD. Out of the stretch, 0-1 offering on the way. High above the shoulders, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bradley Cooney with the ball in his right hand. Theo Hardy on first, not a huge base stealer. 1-1 pitch. Bunt is shown, and it's put up the first base line. Bradley Cooney up with it cleanly, throws wide over to first, and a safe call at first as King legs that one out. Not sure if that was called on the throw pulling first baseman Grant Hussey off the bag, or if King just
I
cleanly
think he got a
beat
toe
that.
in there. I saw it. I thought he was going to be out for sure, but he leapt on that last step, and his toe touched the front corner of the bag just in time. Really nice hustle up the line.
So first and second, nobody out for Ryan Stafford. First pitch on the way. And the righty takes the ball in on the hands, 1-0. So 5 hits through 2 games now for Skylar King, and 3 of them have been bunt singles. And we have seen him bunt a total of 4 times as well with that sacrifice he had his last time at the plate. 1-0 count to Stafford, the righty. Pitch on the way. And he sends this one high in the air and foul ground on the left side. That's way out of play.
There's a lot of value in a guy who can get a bunt down for you, whether it's a sacrifice situation or someone with great speed like King who can get on base practically whenever he gets to the plate with the bunt.
Puts pressure on the defense for sure. 1-1 to Stafford. And it hit him. Just got a piece of him, maybe on the elbow pad there, not showing any signs of pain, but you could hear a very small sound, and that's going to load the bases with nobody out here for YD. And Braden Montgomery will be coming up to the plate as the Red Sox look to add to an already sizable lead at 5-0 here in the top of the 6th.
Something that stood out to me this season, when I talked to head coach Eric Beatty of Hyannis earlier this season, he was talking about a guy on their team, I believe it was Trey Lipsy, and he said he gets hit by pitches all the time because he just stands in there and takes it. He doesn't turn away. He just stands there and takes it no matter where it is. And that's what that reminded me of, because Stafford didn't even move. He saw it coming in and just took it, wore it to load the bases.
First pitch on the way to Montgomery. Big swing and a miss for strike one. Swung underneath that one. Bradley Cooney has the bases loaded with nobody out in his first inning of work in relief. Working back out of the windup here, 0-1. Taken off the plate by Montgomery. Switch hitter batting left. It's 1-1. Hardy on third. King on second. Stafford on first for YD, who lead 5-0 in the top of the sixth. Bradley Cooney kicks and fires the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Montgomery is aiming for the fence right now, but has come up empty on a pair, and it's 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Bradley Cooney brings the glove over the face. And pitch. Taken near the kneecaps. Sliding away from that one, Montgomery sees the count move to 2-2. Lights flicking on. YD looking to break this one open further than it already is. Infield at normal depth for Wareham. Going to sacrifice 2 outs for a run if a grounder comes up. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it by him on the heater, and Montgomery goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
All 3 of those swings, Montgomery was just late. I think he underestimated the speed coming from Bradley Cooney and was not sitting for it on time. And it's Casey Cook at the plate. Long time no see.
Cook will hit for Hunter Hines, who finishes the day 1 for 2 his last time at the plate. Hines hit another home run, the CCBL's leader in deep flies, but he will be pinch hit for out of the DH slot for Casey Cook, the UNC Tar Heel. Batting left. Base is still loaded, 1 away. First pitch. And Cook takes a strike at the top part of the zone, 0-1. Cook batting 179 this year with 12 RBIs. Before we really stopped seeing him in the lineup, though, he was having some of his best hitting. 0-1 pitch. Tapper foul over towards the on-deck circle where Dub Gleed lays a bunt on the ball. And the count moves to 0-2 to Casey Cook.
Haven't seen Casey Cook in the lineup since July 26th. Unclear why. Maybe slight injury or injury prevention going on there.
0-2 pitch. Pop up behind home plate. Hernandez gives it a look, but that will fly out of play over the bleachers.
Perry, to answer your question, Casey Cook actually had a scratched cornea, had some issues with his eye. He had to go to urgent care and get emergency contacts, and they advised he had to be out for at least 5 days, and now it's been pretty much a week since then, and his eyesight's a lot better, he told me.
No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Wrapped foul on the first base side, and he'll see another.
You know, now that you mention that, Ben, I do remember hearing him talk about that. He said he accidentally fell asleep with his contacts in, and he thinks that's how it happened.
That'll do it.
It's a funny thing because that could happen to anyone. Reminds me, I know one of my sisters never takes her contacts out before she goes to sleep.
0-2 pitch is bounced in. It's a ball and 2 strikes as Cook finally takes one. Bases are loaded. 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. 5-0 YD in front. They've led since the 2nd inning. 1-2 the count to Casey Cook. Pitch. Fouled straight back, and Cook, seeing it pretty well here, has gotten a lot of bat on ball, just staying alive, fighting pitches off, waiting for his offering to try and drive one. Red Sox looking to strike for damage. They have not yet scored in this inning, but have the bases loaded with 1 away. Middle infield in double play depth. Corner infield is in their normal spots, pushed back behind each of the bags at first and third base. Bradley Cooney took a second to take a lap around the mound. Now he is back onto the bump from the third base side of the rubber instead of the first. The wind kick and 1-2 pitch. Taken away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casey Cook has the count even, looking to add to his RBI total this season, which stands at 12. 2-2 pitch. Rolled foul over to the YD dugout. And Cook will see another. This has been a very lengthy at-bat to Casey Cook, as he will see his 9th pitch coming up momentarily. Hardy bluffing at third, trying to throw off the focus of Bradley Cooney prior to this 2-2. Here comes. High above the head for ball 3. And just like that, Casey Cook, with a monstrous at-bat, has the count full.
7 pitches to Cook. 3 of them have been fouled back. The first one was a called strike.
Three balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. What an at-bat from Casey Cook. You think he's seeing things well? Back into the lineup after the eye injury, but an excellent eye there to take ball 4 with the bases loaded. A run comes in to score, and YD makes it 6-0 with the bases still loaded and 1 away for Dub Gleat.
It's one of the better at-bats we've seen from this YD team all season here in game 44.
First pitch on the way to Gleat, and he takes down low for ball 1. I mean, that was not a walk that you just stand in there and watch. Cook had to battle for that, and he earned every bit of it. Ball and no strikes to Gleat, and pitch nearly hits him, and he twirls away from it. Instead, it'll move the count to 2-0. Gleat is 0 for 2. He has already been hit by a pitch today. That came in the 3rd inning. He has put 2 balls in play to the left side of the infield, 1 a line out, 1 a ground out, both the 3rd. Ahead in the count, 2-0, and pitch. Inside near the belt, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, as Wareham has got a righty now warming up in their bullpen.
They're at risk of their 8th free pass of the game here. There's been 4 walks and 3 hit batters.
3-0, high and in, ball 4. So although Cook had to battle for the walk, Dub Gleat really didn't there, as 4 pitches that all missed the zone. And that brings in another run. It's 7-0 YD, as Stafford will move to 3rd. Skylar King scores. And Dub Gleat works the walk. Red Sox have just 1 hit in this inning, and it was the bunt single by Skylar King, as Ryan Smith out of the dugout to meet up the infield for Wareham, and we will see a call to the bullpen. Red Sox maybe threatening for more. We'll see a new arm as they lead 7-0. Bases loaded on the other side of this break. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Red Sox lead at 7-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei, and Ben Strober back with you. Bases are loaded with 1 out for YD. The new pitcher coming into the game is Joshua Lanham out of Lenoir-Rhine. Regular season finale here for YD, and we've got the man with all the insights up in the booth with us, Ben Strober. Got a little playoff preview for us, Ben, as we head into the off day tomorrow before YD plays host to begin the postseason on Friday?
Oh, consistency is just the biggest thing for this YD team, and that's something that they've lacked really over these past Wait, 2 weeks. We've seen a lot of roster turnover. They've had a lot of guys come and go, and losing a guy like R.J. Austin certainly hurts. But right now is a moment to make a statement and carry momentum into the postseason.
First batter to the new pitcher is Brady Day. First pitch to him. Misses, no, clips the inside corner of the zone, strike one. I apologize. 0-1 count to the Kansas State Wildcat, Brady Day. Bases are loaded with one out in the top of the sixth. 0-1 pitch, a check swing on a pitch in the dirt. The appeal out to the base umpire, and Brady Day did not go around. So that'll even the count of the ball and strike. Yeah, consistency has been something that really through the first 3 quarters of the season, YD might have been one of the best teams, maybe with the exception of Kitei, in the entire league. They did not lose 2 games in a row often. 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball strike in the inner half, 1-2. But over these last couple of weeks when YD has relinquished that division lead, it has been a bit of an issue. We've seen them skid a little bit harder than they have throughout early points in the season. 1-2 today. Reaches for it and fouls it back, and he'll see another with the count remaining the same.
Lanham has a really over-the-head release point, and because of that on this fastball, it has a lot of downwards vertical break. That's why he's been able to sneak a couple strikes in there on Day.
1-2. Bouncer in. It's blocked down by Hernandez behind the plate, and the count is even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Talked about this earlier, Luke. It just wouldn't really feel right for this YD team to go into the postseason with a 2 seed, considering how long they'd been in that 1 spot. It was a win over Harwich back in mid-June, and they really hadn't moved out of that since then.
2-2 today. Hits it up in the air, left side of the infield. Barely in fair territory. Brooks camped underneath it at third, makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Bases are still loaded. And the batter will be Ryan Jackson for YD in the top of the 6th, leading 7-0. But, yeah, I mean, Red Sox really took over that division lead at a point in the season where you could say standings kind of started to matter right as they took over that first place. They didn't truly go wire to wire. It wasn't from the beginning as the first pitch comes into Jackson. It bounces in, kicks off our home plate umpire's foot. They're going to play it. Runners move up a base, sliding in safely. Ryan Stafford will score. Runners move up to second and third. And it's 8-0 Red Sox after the wild pitch. So they'll be on second and third with Jackson in a 1-0 count, 2 away in the top of the 6th. But you know, returning to our point, YD took over when you first started to really take some stock into what those standings looked like. And, yeah, like you said, it just wouldn't feel right almost if they didn't have that at the end of the year. 1-0. Strike at the bottom part of the zone, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Ryan Jackson. Runners on second and third, and pitch. It's a strike dotted up on the outer corner. A nice pitch there from Lanham, and it's 1-2.
3 runs given up essentially for free now in this inning. YD hasn't earned any of those.
1-2 misses down low, and it's 2-2. Mentioned it before the break in the pitching change, but the only hit in this inning for the Red Sox was Skylar King's bunt single. YD has not had anything leave the infield so far in this frame. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jackson. Pitch taken down and in, and it's ball 3. There is an open base at first now with runners on second and third, and so a walk would not bring in a run, but it would keep the inning going with Greg Bozzo on deck for the Red Sox. The kick and the payoff pitch bounces in ball 4, and Jackson takes the walk. He is aboard for the second time.
Earned is the wrong word to use there because it's a technical term in baseball, but it just feels like YD has been gifted this inning and gifted another free base there. They have not batted their way into this now 3-run 6th inning.
It's the 5th free pass of the inning issued out by Wareham pitching, and now Greg Bozzo, the final member of the batting order to come up to the plate, will hit from the righty box. Bases juiced, 2 away. First pitch on the way. And a strike at the bottom part of the zone, 0-1. 2 outs and an 8-0 lead for YD in the top of the 6th inning. Lanham coming on partway through this one has recorded 1 out so far. 0-1 pitch. Bounces in. It's chested down by Hernandez, who does well to prevent that from getting to the backstop on a pitch that was just spiked. That will move the count to 1-1 to Bazo. Bazo's a guy, a bit of a mystery what his type of role is going to be as the Red Sox move into the playoffs. As the 1-1 comes in, goes after it, lines it into left field, and it will be caught as Sherrod comes in and makes the play on a line to finally end the inning. Top of the 6th has come and gone. A bit lengthy in the field for Wareham as YD tacked on 3 more. It's 8-0 Red Sox headed to the last of the 6th. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th inning here from Spillane Field. Luke West, Poley, Ben Strober, Perri, Kitei with you. 8-0 the score. The Red Sox leading over the Wareham Gatemen, and it's a debut after a phenomenal start by Gage Williams, who went 5 innings of shutout ball. It will be the righty Pablo Torres taking over for the Red Sox. First batter he'll face is Grant Sherrod, who's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. First pitch on the way is way up high from Torres for ball 1. Pablo, 5'11", 180-pound righty. Sophomore out of St. Cloud, Florida, plays his college ball at Bethune-Cookman HBCU program in the state of Florida. Takes a breath and deals the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Torres was the second player in the history of Bethune-Cookman's program to receive an invite to Team USA camp this summer, where he trained. Previously played this summer in the Appalachian League for Elizabethton. 1-1 pitch, lined out towards center field, and that will drop in for a base hit. Picked up by Montgomery in right. A turnaround first by Sherrod, but he will retreat. And a leadoff single in the bottom of the 6th inning puts the leadoff man aboard for Wareham. Grant Hussey, the West Virginia Mountaineer, now comes up. Runner on first and nobody out. His team down 8 in the bottom of the 6th. Torres comes exclusively out of the stretch, so no change here with the runner on base. Right on left. Torres comes set, kicks and fires. Fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Torres this season in the Appalachian League appeared in 10 games at a 2-0 record, a 1.35 ERA, 2 saves, just 7 walks and 26 strikeouts in 13 and a third innings. 1-0. Fastball high again, 2 balls, no strikes. We can see that he is pumping heat already early on in his first appearance.
Adrenaline high.
He's gone to the fastball quite a bit. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball low that time, and it's 3-0. Rocking the black glove with the Bethune-Cookman colored accents. 3 balls, no strikes. Small lead on first, no reason to steal for Sherrod. The pitch. Fastball over the plate for strike 1. That had noticeable velocity taken off of it as Torres steals a strike. Runner on first, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1 count, the kick and the pitch. Up high, ball 4 with the fastball. And so the first 2 men that come to the plate for Wareham reach in the bottom of the 6th, first and second, and nobody out for Michael Brooks, the Kansas Jayhawk, who's 1 for 2.
So they have to be careful here now. The past couple of games, it seemed like Whitey's pitching staff prone to that big inning like we've seen, especially yesterday in that 4th inning against Orleans. Whitey has to make sure they don't let anything like that happen here with the stakes as high as they are for the division race.
First pitch on the way to Brooks. Sails high, ball 1. 5 runs in that 4th inning yesterday for Orleans. After Whitey trailed 3-0, the Red Sox battled back to tie it in the previous half inning, and really just a deflating one to give up something like that, as now we will see a pitching coach out of the dugout for the Red Sox that will bring a stop to play. Checking in over from Orleans, no new updates. As of right now, it's still 7-0 Chatham, and we will continue to keep an eye on that game as it progresses along. Once again, if the Red Sox can win this one and Chatham holds on, YD will be division champions in the East in the CCBL and will take the top seed. And their opponent would be the Brewster Whitecaps, who they had a really good regular season record against in the first round of the playoffs. Home game regardless for YD in the first round, as they will be either a 1 or a 2 seed regardless of outcome today, which would mean home field advantage at least in round 1. But the top seed in the East would at least ensure that they would get home field advantage through the first 2 rounds if they made it there. Home game will start a little earlier on Friday for the Red Sox. It'll be a 4 p.m. start in the first round. Not sure, once again, we said about the opponent yet, but regardless, it will be a 4 p.m. start from Red Wilson Field. Mound meeting is broken up. Runners on first and second, and a 1-0 count to Michael Brooks. The pitch from Torres is a fastball dotted up on the outer corner, 1-1. Ball and a strike to Brooks, who is 1 for 2, popped out to first his last time. Torres all set, the gold chain glimmering in the light here in Wareham, 1-1. Fastball for a strike in the high part of the zone, and it's 1-2. Most base runners in an inning for Wareham has been 3. They had them loaded in the 4th. They've had a couple of base runners in an inning twice. 1-2 pitch. Lifted up right side, slicing away from the field. Doug Lee chasing after it, but it'll get out of play. Still 1-2 the count. As Pablo Torres climbs back in, making his debut for the Red Sox. Eyeing in on home. He sets above the belt. Here's the pitch. Way up high, and it gets away. Clipping off the glove of Bazo, it gets to the backstop. Runners will move up as the Gatemen now have second and third. Count moves to 2-2 to Michael Brooks.
That's a big moment for Torres here, for Coach Scott Pickler, and they want to see what they have out of Torres, a high-pressured situation here. And when the playoffs come around, starting on Friday, those high-pressured situations are going to matter the most, and they want to see what they have in them. In a moment like this, can they go to him in a jam?
Torres certainly has proved capable in his other stops as the 2-2 comes in down low, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Torres looks in at his battery mate. Greg Bozzo gives him the sign. He sets. Base open at first with second and third. The payoff pitch. Hit in the air towards shallow center field. Skylar King racing forward, and he will make the catch. Runner bluffs towards home, but the throw in gets past the cutoff intended by Gleed, comes all the way to the plate, but it's smothered by a sprawling Greg Bozzo. Runners will stay on second and third, and that's the first out at the bottom of the sixth inning.
Nearly some deja vu to yesterday when I believe it was Dub Gleed's throw home. The runner bluffed as he was going to go, and it got by Ryan Stafford. It was a really low throw, and that allowed that runner to come home and continue the inning, essentially.
That one, Bozzo put his entire body behind it to make sure it couldn't sneak by. It hit weirdly off the mound. Took an odd bounce on Gleed.
First pitch to Garen Caulfield sinks down for ball one. Second and third, one out. Bottom six, 8-0 Red Sox lead, with Pablo Torres in his first inning of work out of the bullpen, relieving Gage Williams. Torres wants the sign again. Gets it and readies. 1-0 offering on the way. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him, and it's 1-1. Caulfield is 0 for 2. He has grounded out and flown out. Righty on righty. Base open at first. 1-1 pitch. Bounced in, and Bozzo knocks it down. A good play behind the plate from the YD catcher. The count moves to 2-1, but runners are forced to hold on second and third. Two balls and a strike. Pitch to Caulfield comes in. Jammed up in the air right side and out of play. A foul ball makes it 2-2. Very important inning here for Torres in relief. Trying to go clean in his Cape League debut. The 2-2. Lifted up, right field, in foul territory. Dub Gleed going back and reaching out. It's just out of his reach. On the run, Gleed was sputtering after it, but came up just short. Would have been interesting there to see if the runner on third, Grant Sherrod, tried to score as that ball was hit a little bit up the ways in the first base line out towards the outfield. Might have had a shot, depending on where Gleed's momentum was taking him. Count remains 2-2 to Garen Caulfield. Torres deals. Inside, and it gets away. Runner coming in and scoring. Sherrod comes across as Hussey moves to third. That'll likely be a passed ball on Bozzo as that ball hit him in the glove. And it will be a 3-2 count as Wareham finally puts one across in the bottom of the sixth. They still trail in this one 8-1. Runner on third with one away and a full count now to Garen Caulfield.
That just bounced out of his glove. Bozzo had it in the pocket, and we watched it bounce away, roll behind him.
Payoff pitch comes in. Lifted up, right side. Again, Gleed jogging over to it, but that ball is well foul. Caulfield has fought at the plate. And we'll see another full count offering. Torres comes plateward. Fouled back. Into the parking lot. That did hit a car.
Hope it wasn't yours.
It was not my car, thankfully. 3 balls, 2 strikes still to Garen Caulfield. Kick and pitch. Reached for, hit in the air behind home. That's going to get out of play too. And Caulfield is really making Torres work for this one, as he has already thrown 24 pitches. Just one out. 8-1 score, runner on third. YD leading in the bottom of the sixth. 3-2 pitch. Popped up and foul behind home again. It gets out of play.
Fourth foul ball of the at-bat now.
Making it look like a rookie move from you, Luke, to park your car back behind home plate at Spillane Field.
Hardy and Grant Hussey have been hanging out here on third, chopping it up.
3-2 pitch. Off the plate, ball four. We saw Casey Cook do it in the top of the inning. Garen Caulfield does it here in the bottom. A long at-bat ends in a walk. And we will see a pinch hitter.
Long at-bat like that really just becomes a mental battle, and it usually favors the batter in that sense because the pitcher starts to get a little bit worn down, and it really starts to get in your head when you can't get that out pitch by him. And that's just an example of a perfect at-bat, just like Casey Cook, and the batter wins once again.
So we will see a pinch runner and a pinch hitter as Josh Stevenson will hit for Corey Morton, who finishes the day 0 for 0, 2 walks for Morton. And the pinch runner is Jimmy Brennan, the catcher from Post University. 1 out, runners on the corners. 8-1 our score in the bottom of the sixth inning from Spillane Field. Torres' first pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. Brought the heat that time. Stevenson out of Ohio State and Youngsville, Louisiana, batting from the lefty box. Oh, 1 pitch. Flies high. It's a ball and a strike. Stevenson will be transferring to the Buckeyes after spending last season at LSU. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Stevenson hitting 182 on Cape this summer. Torres brings the glove to the belt. 1-1 pitch. Rises high. 2 balls and a strike. Also rare to see a catcher pinch run, as Jimmy Brennan is doing just that over on first base, running for Garen Caulfield. Two balls and a strike, and the pitch to Stevenson comes in. He leans out of the way and nearly got him on the belt, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. This inning has been very lengthy for Torres in his debut. About to throw pitch number 31 with just 1 out. Runners on the corners, and the 3-1 pitch comes in. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with the fastball, and it's a full count.
I was going to say I see action in the YD bullpen, and I do, but they're throwing a football, not a baseball. Back and forth behind the fence.
Football has made its way over the past few days into that bullpen for YD. Payoff pitch comes. Ball 4 just a tad low to Stevenson. Third walk of the inning for Torres, and that will load the bases as the 7 spot between Morton and Stevenson for the Gatemen has now walked all 3 times. Bases are loaded for Yadier Hernandez, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a groundout. Double play could potentially end the inning. 1 away. They're juiced in an 8-1 game led by YD. First pitch on the way. Hernandez holds off on a called strike. Top part of the zone, 0-1. YD leading by 7 in the bottom of the 6th inning. In the Cape League regular season finale.
Orleans has gotten one back. It's 7-1 over at Eldridge Park in the bottom of the 5th.
0-1 pitch. Hernandez swings and misses. Nearly lost his helmet there. No balls, 2 strikes as Torres got him to chase. Oh-2 pitch. Lined out towards center field. It is right at Skylar King, who doesn't even have to move, making the catch. Runner tagging from third as the throw comes into third. It'll be a sac fly for Hernandez as Grant Hussey comes in to score. Runners on first and second will stay put. And it's now an 8-2 game in the bottom of the 6th, 2 down for J.C. Cologne. Rather, we will get a pinch hitter for Wareham. Byram Hott from Marist will hit for Cologne, who finishes the day 1 for 2. Runners on first and second now with 2 down.
It's the kind of day for Wareham where they're clearing the benches to give everyone a chance to play. It will be their last game.
8-2 our score. Get an extended delay here as the substitution has to be put in, and now we're all ready to play. Righty on righty. First and second. Whitey infield playing normal depth. First pitch on the way. And Hott takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down, bottom 6. Torres fires. Grounder over right side. That's a base hit into right field. Brennan getting waved around third. Now at the last minute gets the stop sign as the throw is fired in by Montgomery and would have beat him by plenty of time. So the runner holds off at third. A single by Byram Hott as the pinch hit opportunity pays off for him, and the bases are reloaded for the top of the order. Bobby Bozer trying to break an 0-for-3 day. And not entirely out of the question here. YD needing to be a little bit careful as the tying run is still in the hole for Wareham, but a chance to get themselves back into this game here with 2 away. And the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th, down by 6 runs.
Not surprised to see them see that at all. Hott was the Rookie of the Year in the MAAC for.
First pitch is high to Bozer for ball 1. Bozer has flown out to left in his last 2 at-bats.
Hott had a .446 on base percentage for Marist in the spring.
1-0 pitch. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-1. Middle infield playing pretty far back for YD. Red Sox trying to pick up win number 24 on the season. Red Sox, after picking up their 23rd win, clinched having a winning record at season's end. 1-1 pitch, up high, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Bobby Bozer. Right on right with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. An inning that has seen Torres now throw 40 pitches. 2-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Fastball, and Bozer cuts through it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We have surpassed the 2-hour mark as we're not quite done with 6 innings yet. Here from Wareham, Torres trying to end things. 2-2 pitch, inside ball 3. So now, runners will be off with the pitch, and Torres has nowhere to put Bobby Bozer with the bases loaded. Full count, 2 outs, bases juiced. Torres at the belt. Payoff comes home. Grounder over third base side. It gets over to Jackson deep in the hole. Throws a 1-hopper to first, and it is in time for out number 3. So the damage is limited out of the bullpen by Torres. What a play by Ryan Jackson to end the inning. And as we head to the 7th, 8-2 the score with YD leading. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Jose State.
Back for the top of the 7th after a lengthy 6th, 2 hours and 16 minutes of game time so far. New pitcher on the bump, Jake Perri out of Arkansas, Woo Pig, facing Theo Hardy in the 9-hole as YD is making their way through the order. Hardy flies it foul and over these left side bleachers for strike one. He's 2 for 2 today, has reached all 3 times with 2 singles and a walk. He has been on fire as of late for the Red Sox. Perri has a long stretch over his head before he sets at the waist, now fires at the shoulders, ball 1. Some defensive substitutions as the pinch hitters from the last inning have come in. Byram Hott at second, Gonzalez moves to short, and Josh Stevenson in right field. Next pitch lined over the glove of the leaping Byram Hott, and Theo Hardy is 3 for 3 with a walk today.
An average continuing to rise for Hardy. That's his second 3-hit game we've seen recently.
Center fielder number 22, Skylar King from West Virginia.
Flips the order once again. Skylar King also 3 for 3. 2 singles, a sac bunt, and a bunt single. So I guess 3 singles, but one of them's a bunt. Regardless, has been very productive at the top of the order. Perri fires the first pitch. King takes it, strike 1. Perri checking on the runner. He is a righty. We've seen only righties since the lefty opener. King, the 0-1. A late swing and a miss on the fastball blown by him. It's 0-2. 10 hits for the Red Sox, 8 runs, 4 hits for Wareham, 2 runs to show for it. Free passes have been the story of the day for both teams. For Wareham, 6 walks and 3 hit batters. Next pitch on the way, high, 4-1. And for YD, also 6 walks and 1 hit batter, so 9 free passes and 7 free passes for each team respectively as the counts 1-2 on Skylar King, nobody out, a runner on first, top of the 7th. Perri fires, and it's bumped foul off the tip of the bat into the fence. The count will stay at 1-2 for Skylar King. A deep breath from Perri. Now the pitch on the ground up the third baseline, just foul. If it stayed a couple of inches more to the right, that would have been extra bases for Skylar King. Put some good juice on it, but couldn't stay fair. And the count stays at 1-2. 2 foul balls in a row now for King. Out of West Virginia. Scores 7-3 over at Orleans, so the Firebirds are not done fighting yet. The 1-2 off the plate. Count evens at 2-2.
Chatham limited things for Orleans to just 3 runs. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Orleans was threatening for more, but the Anglers kept Orleans, at least for the moment, at arm's length.
2-2 to King. Perri deals, and he golfs it foul out of play once again. Awaiting now the 8th pitch of the at-bat with the count still at 2-2. King holds it vertical, now resets in the lefty box. Perri with the stretch over the head. Deep breath now into the wind as ball 3 is over the head, and Yadier Hernandez has to stand up to collect. Full count now on 8 pitches to King. The middle infield is pinched in towards the middle, and with Hussey guarding the bag at first, a lot of space on the right side. The payoff, runner goes, and it's skied foul over the backstop. We'll do it again at 3-2 as this at-bat has now reached its 10th pitch. Perri up to 12 total pitches facing his second batter. Here it comes. Runner goes. Ball 4. Seventh walk of the day for Wareham pitching. Runners on first and second with nobody out in the top of the 7th for Ryan Stafford. He's 0 for 2, but has reached twice on a walk, and he has been hit by a pitch. Clipped him on the elbow guard. Stafford out of Cal Poly, the catcher slash left fielder slash pinch runner and base stealer. He's been all over the place, one of the more athletic catchers in the game. Fresh count to him. Score at 8-2. First pitch, checks his swing and accidentally tips it foul. Strike 1. Stafford reset his front toe at the edge of the end of the plate. The 0-1 comes in, clips that outside half. Strike 2. Stafford down 0-2, runners on first and second. Perri spinning it in his hand. Now it's over his head. From the stretch, he fires ball 2, or ball 1. In the opposite box, heading towards the dirt where it was scooped by Hernandez. Hardy is loosely protected over at second. We haven't seen a pickoff attempt from Perri yet. The 1-2 drops low again, and it's 2-2. Still 1 inning behind us over in Chatham. A runner on first, nobody out for the Anglers in the top of the 6th right now. Perri fires, both runners go. And the throw down to third is not in time. Hardy slides in there safely. And both runners advance. Ryan Stafford strikes out, but essentially does the same thing as a bunt, as the runners have both moved up.
Still a lot of activity on the base pads, even with a 6-run lead for Scott Pickler and the Red Sox.
Coach Pickler will not play it safe in this situation with the East Division on the line and Orleans losing over in Orleans. First pitch to Montgomery, flies in low, ball 1.
And we saw what happened last time we were here. When you let a team hang around, you get punched in the mouth in a late inning, and you can end up with a loss.
1-0 to Montgomery with 1 gone. The pitch is swung on and missed. Dribbles away from Hernandez, but he's there to it quickly. And Hardy has no chance at home. Perri brings the arms down, now set the 1-1. Montgomery, slight shoulder movement, but it's checked as ball 2 comes in. Hardy, the lead runner on a third, followed by Skylar King. The 2-1, ripped up the ground, sneaks through the gap between first and second. King rounding third, heading for home. The throw comes in. Not in time, not even close enough to make a play, and it's a 2 RBI single for Braden Montgomery. Sneaks it through that same 3-4 hole he found earlier in the game. He's been fantastic on the ground today, different from what we're used to seeing out of the switch power hitter. But YD has opened it up 10-2.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of pitches down, but he's working with what he's getting, and he's just hitting balls on the ground that are finding their way through, and Montgomery stays hot. He's now 3 for 5.
And the advantage of putting it on the ground is you're running on contact, so King had plenty of time to get around from second and come home on that one. As Cook holds off on ball 1. Still 1 out, top of the 7th. 11 hits now for YD for 10 runs. The opposite story of yesterday when they had 10 more hits than runs. Ball 2 comes way inside to Cook. Hernandez scrambling over. And we'll see a coach out of the Wareham dugout for a quick meeting with Perri. Only Hernandez coming to join the meeting as the rest of the infield stays put.
Another Chatham news. They've loaded the bases with nobody out.
It is a cloudless night here. Gorgeous at Wareham. The sky is a midnight blue now. Lights fully on. YD well positioned to take back this East Division League lead if all things go as planned over in Orleans. 2-0 to Casey Cook. Pitch on the way. Strike 1 on the inside half.
This is my 3rd season working in summer ball. I spent 2 years in the Great Lakes League, and this is my 3rd year in a row where the final day of the regular season I have spent it intently scoreboard watching.
The 2-1 golfed foul, and that's strike 2.
It's funny how you play 44 games and things just end up so close at the end.
Do you think Orleans would have rather lost yesterday and lost the division that way? As the 2-2 flies in high, back pick towards first, but Montgomery is back safely. Or to win yesterday, they had a massive team meeting that lasted a long time. They were really ruckus after the game, really hyped up. And then to come back and possibly lose it again today, that feels more painful to me. Full count to Casey Cook, payoff on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3. Cook swung at what likely would have been ball 4 low. And that's the 2nd out of the inning, both strikeouts, and that brings up Dub Gleed, who's 0 for 2. But similarly to Stafford, has reached from being hit by a pitch and walking once.
It feels like the ties make it weird, right? Because if there were no ties in this league, then we'd have a little more decisiveness from wins and losses like yesterday.
Ball 1 runs in on Gleed.
But because of that tie, now all of a sudden, you know, you win that game. And it felt like yesterday, if you had just watched the game, that Orleans had won the division title, but that wasn't true. We knew that there was a chance coming into today that YD could take it.
Gleed rips it on the ground, and it sneaks under the glove of Michael Brooks. Montgomery takes a big round at second, but holds up. Brooks that went under his glove. He was there, and it's the 2nd error of the game. No reason for it not to be. It was a hard-hit ball, but should not have snuck through to the outfield the way that it did. Brady Day back. He's 1 for 3, a walk, a single, a ground out, a fly out. That's been his day in his 4 plate appearances. Runners on first and second. YD leads 10-2. And ball 1 flies in on the inside. Perri holds it above his head. Now the deep breath, shoulder shrug, broken bat up the first baseline. Sneaks foul at the last second, but Day will need some new wood. Taking his time, heading over to the dugout to do so. It seems the broken bat count has really been skyrocketing this last week of play. Pine tarring the bat over there, getting some grip.
Do guys just never pine tar their backup bats? That's what I don't understand. Feels like every time a guy breaks a bat, I mean, maybe you want to reapply, I could understand that. Every time a guy breaks a bat, though, go get some pine tar.
Day back, the count's 1-1. Pitch on the way. Swings and misses for strike 2, high in the zone on the fastball. Blown by him, Day was underneath it, 1-2. Another strike could end the inning for Perri, who struck out 2, but allowed 2 as well. He deals, and the check swing foul ball keeps it alive for Day. Montgomery the lead on second, Gleed on first behind him. Montgomery responsible for the 2 runs. He had a 2 RBI single. Perri fires. Another broken bat. Looper towards short off 1 bounce. And the runner is safe at second. Gonzalez was going for the unassisted putout at second, but Gleed got a good break on it and slid in there. So instead of making the inning-ending play at first, he thought he had more time, and now YD has the bases loaded.
It's a $300 at-bat from Brady Day, but buys him a hit. That was an excellent hustle play from Dub Gleed to slide in there and see if Ryan Jackson can get his first hit here.
Bases loaded at the top of the 7th with 2 outs for YD. They've loaded the bases already and brought 2 around. First pitch to Jackson, a big swing and a miss for strike 1. He's had a little bit of a rough day at the plate. 0 for 3, but he has reached on an error and a walk. 2 errors by the Gatemen today. 12 hits now for YD. Perri kicks and deals. Low and away for ball 1. One and 1 to Jackson. The pitch drops low, ball 2. It's a very quiet day here. You can hear a lot more of what's going on the field than you can at a lot of other ballparks. As ball 3 comes in low, and now Perri is at risk of walking in a run. Chatham just tacked on 3 more runs. And Jackson puts it towards the gap, dropping in short, but not short enough. Stevenson gets it on the fly out in right. That retires the side with the bases loaded, but YD strikes for 2. They lead 10-2. We'll be back shortly as we head to the stretch on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Win Scott back to the mound for YD. We've seen a lot of him since he was added to the roster last week. Third appearance already for Scott as he fires the first pitch low and away to Dorian Gonzalez for ball one. YD has opened this one up 10-2. Chatham winning 12-3 in the top of the 6th over in Orleans. So YD looking good to take back that East Division title right now. Second ball comes in to Gonzalez. Scott out of NC State. Has not allowed a run, as this one's chopped foul up the first baseline for strike one. He's faced 6 total batters, 1 strikeout, 3 hits allowed. No runs allowed, no walks. The 2-1 on the way. Fastball burns the bottom of the zone, 2-2. Scott deals ball 3, drops in the dirt, and it's a full count to his first batter faced, Gonzalez. Scott kicks and deals the payoff in the dirt, ball 4, and Wareham has a leadoff runner aboard.
Left fielder number 4, Grant Sherrod from South Carolina Upstate.
Pinch hitter Grant Cherry, who has been on the team for a long time. Excuse me, Grant Sherrod. Why did I think that was? There's definitely someone with the last name Cherry in this league, but it's Sherrod, who's been here the whole time, and he cranks it on the ground towards short, and it takes a bad hop on Jackson and gets through to left field. Smashed off the bat, scored as a hit, and there's 2 aboard for the Gatemen.
That's one of the harder ground balls you're going to see. That ball was blasted on the ground and took a bad hop on Jackson, and you cannot expect him to make that type of play on a ball that hopped up on him at the last second with that type of velocity behind it.
Sherrod's now 2 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Very good day for him at the plate out of South Carolina Upstate. Scott deals a first pitch strike to Grant Hussey in the cleanup spot. Runners in first and second for Wareham. Nobody gone. Pitch on the way. Bounces in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike to Hussey. Scott holds it behind his back. Stagnant. Now into the glove to twist it. He's a lefty. Kicks, fires. Ball 2 outside. Two and one with nobody gone in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runners on for Wareham. And it's golfed over the head of Hardy into left field. Wareham will hold up the runners at third as Stafford got to it quickly. Came in cut off by Hardy. And it looked like it was just misjudged by Hardy. Maybe could have had a play if he jumped, but could have been miscommunication between Jackson. Either way, it was a nicely hit ball. YD would have had a slim chance, if any. Second hit of the inning loads the bases for the Gatemen. Still nobody out for Michael Brooks. He's 1 for 3. Single and 2 flyouts. Takes ball 1 on the outside. Pretty big leads from the Gatemen, but we haven't seen pickoffs in a long time. First, another ball comes in to Brooks. It's 2-0. Scott walked Gonzalez on a full count to start off the inning. Since then, 2 hits to Sherrod and Hussey have loaded the bases. Deep breath, the pitch, strike 1. Fastball on the outside half. Brooks watches it go by, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Still nobody gone in a 10-2 ball game led by YD. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Scott fires, this time off the plate on the fastball. It's 3-1. The 3-1, a big cut and miss from Brooks as he slows it down a little too late. And it's another full count, the second of the inning. The first one ended in a walk. A walk here would score a run for Wareham. Instead, a knee lift and a lob of a throw over towards short. Jackson barely got there. It could have possibly bounced past him, but it doesn't. Full count still. Brooks swinging the bat below his knees, now set. Scott fires the payoff. Cracked foul over the right side, and Brooks will see another. Scott already reset. Brooks holding it vertical. Swings below his knees, now waving it set. The pitch. Again, cracked foul over the right side. Brooks is on it. Scott's putting it in there, but as they've done the last few innings and as Gonzalez did his first time, battling off the strikes until they find ball 4. Scott fires, swing and a miss, tipped into Bozzo's glove. He squeezes it for out number 1.
Good bounce back by Wynn Scott. 3-ball count. Nowhere to put the batter at the plate. Guy at the plate is fighting, and you're having to go with the zone again and again and again, and finally gets that strike 3.
First pitch now on the way to Josh Stevenson. I forgot he came in for, no, Josh Stevenson's on deck, so it's still Garen Caulfield? Nope, Jimmy Brennan came in as a courtesy runner. I've lost track of all the substitutions, but he takes the first pitch strike. No balls, 2 strikes to Brennan, bases loaded. The pitch just low. Bozzo tried to frame it, but does not get the call. 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 gone now. Scott has loaded the bases with nobody out. No Gatemen have come across yet. And there's 2 gone now for Josh Stevenson. He walked his first time around when he came in to pinch hit. Scott fires the first pitch, cracked slowly on the ground up towards second. Day scoops it and tosses underhand to Glean, and will run all the way back to the YD dugout. Wynn Scott loads the bases and leaves them loaded. No runs come across. It's 10-2 YD, heading to the top of the 8th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th, YD back up, and Manny Garza is pinch hitting for Greg Bozzo. Garza, out of Rice, has been rotating in at the catcher position with Stafford. This is Bozzo's first time behind the plate.
Pinch hitter for the Red Sox is number 26, Manny Garza from Rice University.
He takes a first pitch ball high at the shoulders from Jackson Reed, who is transferring into Western Carolina University. The Gatemen are emptying their bullpen here on their last night. Big swing and miss for, I thought that was strike one. The scoreboard says 0-2. I'm going to go with 1-1 for now because I swear I heard the word ball come out of his mouth. We'll see, though, if this next pitch is a strike. Reed fires. It's chopped up towards first base off a couple of bounces. Hussey will take it himself for out number 1, so the count does not matter as Garza's retired on 3 pitches.
Give a shout out to Garza. It was his birthday yesterday. He wasn't in the lineup, but happy 21st, Manny Garza, as of yesterday.
I learned that Manny Garza has a twin as well. We were bonding about the fact that we're twins. I have a twin sister, and he has a twin brother, so happy birthday to Manny Garza's twin as well. First pitch on the way to Hardy. Breaks in for strike 1.
2 twins in the broadcast booth. I don't know if we mentioned before, but the most unique thing maybe about Garza and his twin, who both celebrated their birthday yesterday,
identical pitch, strike 2.
is that they have the same first name. And Manny is actually his middle name, and his middle name is Emmanuel. He goes by Manny. That's his middle name. And his brother's middle name is Eduardo, and that's what he goes by, and they have the same first name.
The 0-2, what is the first name? Swung on and missed strike 3.
Cannot remember.
We'll have to get back to you on that. That is fascinating. I had no idea.
And also, Manny Garza started playing baseball because he broke his family's TV by throwing a yo-yo at it, and then his family decided that he should become a baseball player.
That's a great story. We have a YD debut, Drew Cron out of UConn. I just got a little sad looking at the plate. I saw number 3 and was ready to announce Enzo Apodaca, but Apodaca no longer with the Red Sox. He had been here since day 1 and was released this morning. Cron took ball 1 in the dirt. Second pitch on the way, framed upstairs, but doesn't get the call. 2 balls, no strikes. YD now emptying the bench as we're in the late innings. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Ball 3 comes in low.
Manny Garza's first name is Heriberto Garza. Heriberto Garza is his name, and then Manny is his middle name, Emmanuel. And his brother is also the same.
The 3-0. Fastball strike on the outer half. Cron has yet to swing.
Apparently that is somewhat common in certain communities. I didn't know that, but that actually is a thing.
Ball 4 below the knees. And Drew Cron reaches base in his first plate appearance for YD.
Drew Cron's another guy that he's making his YD debut, and it's going to be interesting after these next few days unfold to see how YD utilizes him. Maybe a piece off the bench potentially, a new addition coming in late for YD's playoff run.
Reed fires the first pitch to Stafford, and it's low for ball 1. 2 outs with a runner on first for the Red Sox, who lead the Gatemen 10-2. Here in the top of the 8th inning. And Chatham Orleans is fighting back. It's 13-8 Firebirds as Stafford flies this foul over the fence.
5 spot by Orleans in the bottom of the 6th. Nothing can go smoothly.
They're still down 5, but we know Orleans has a tendency to put together runs. They scored only in 3 innings yesterday, but put up 11 runs. The 1-1 clips the outside corner, strike 2. Stafford is hitless today, but has reached twice from a walk and being hit by a pitch. Lines this one foul over the right side fence. Xander Darby is warming up his arm on the side. We might see him as a defensive sub. He's playing catch with maybe Brady Day, somebody I can't actually see. The 1-2 almost nails Stafford in the head, but he leans back, ball 2. Reed shakes one off, quickly checks the runner at first. Now fires outside, ball 3. Stafford has run the count full.
Chatham ends the Orleans big inning, so now they're headed to the 7th in Orleans, and it's 13-8 Anglers over Firebirds.
Runner goes, Reed fires, ball 4. Cron got a good jump on that anyways. He really timed up Reed and likely would have been safe even if Stafford had gone down, but instead, Stafford takes the free pass, and there's runners on first and second for Braden Montgomery.
From Stanford.
Reed fires the first pitch, hammered out towards left field. Looks like it'll stay in play. Sherrod underneath it. Camp makes the grab, out number 3. Heading to the home half of the 8th, YD kept scoreless in the frame. The score still 10-2. You're watching or listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Pinch hitter to start things off in the home half of the 8th. It's Renee Lastres, who has been here all season for the Gatemen, facing Wynn Scott. He takes ball 1 outside. Lastres, a catcher, will replace Hernandez. Next pitch comes in from Scott over the heart of the plate. Strike 1. Lastres competed in the home run hitting competition All-Star Weekend. Flies this one foul. Could stay in play. Gleed has no chance at it, however, as it trails away from him. Strike 2. Counts 1-2 to Lastres. He's leading off the inning. No outs, top of the 8th, or bottom of the 8th, as YD leads Wareham 10-2. Scott kicks and deals, and it's lined up the middle off the backhand. But the throw from Jackson, or from Day. Let me get back to you on who's at second, because it doesn't look like Brady Day, and Ryan Jackson's at short. Oh, no, that is Ryan Jackson. That is Ryan Jackson. Looked like him. He backhanded it nicely. Could have made another hero play. He's had 2 of them today, but the throw to Glee dragged him off the bag. So Lastras reaches with a hit. First pitch ball comes into Byram Hott. His second time around, he's 1 for 1 with a single out of Marist University. The Red Fox was the MAC Rookie of the Year, but a huge cut there. Is strike 1 as the count's 1-1.
They did give Lastras the hit, as I believe is the right call on the scorer's decision, so he's got a single. That's his 5th hit of the year.
Next pitch, grounded towards first. Gleed has the out at second, and it's the 3-6-3 double play. I always call that one. 3-6-3 double play for Dub Gleed. Clears the base paths, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Clearly it has been a long night and a long season, as this is the final one of the regular season.
And we are going to see a call to the bullpen.
Looks like it's the end of the day for Scott. We will step aside as somebody else comes to replace him. We'll be back shortly on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Two outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and we've got a new pitcher on the bump for YD. It's a Y debut for Connor Podeswa out of Tufts University. Roll Jumbos. First pitch on the way, and it's a strike at the top of the zone to Bobby Bozer, the leadoff hitter for Wareham. Big shout out to the Tufts Jumbos. Half my family went there, my mom and my twin sister. The 0-1 flies off the plate. My mom, I think you're listening, Mom, was a Tufts Jumbo athlete herself for the volleyball team. So we're a big Tufts athletics family. Happy to see a jumbo out here. Counts 1-1 to Bozer. Podeswa nods and fires. It's cranked into left field, lined over the head of Xander Darby, who's back at third. And Bozer has a hit. He's on first with 2 gone.
Shortstop number 17, Dorian Gonzalez from the University of Miami.
Podeswa was not scheduled to pitch today. Pre-game, the only pitcher in line to make a debut was Pablo Torres, who was the second pitcher to come in, the first out of the bullpen in this game. But Podeswa coming in here late to try and get some outs and get some confidence going.
Fresh count to Dorian Gonzalez. Ball 1 flies off the plate. Darby from third is over on the right side of second. There's 3 over there. Gleed, Jackson, and Darby. Ball 2 comes in just high. 2 balls, no strikes, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. YD leading 10-2. Connor Podeswa on the mound. The 2-0 down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Podeswa set. He fires, and it's pumped foul, strike 2. Straight back into the fence. Runner on first. YD looking for one final out. And that is a called strike 3 over the heart of the plate. Garza started running back to the dugout before the call was even made. That's how confident he was. Podeswa comes in and shuts the door with a strikeout, looking to retire the side. We are finally headed to the top of the 9th, 3 hours and 6 minutes into this one. We'll be back on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 9th, YD at the plate, looking to close this one out, leading 10-2 against Wareham. Casey Cook will be the first coming to the plate. There is a whole mess of people at the edge of the YD dugout. Cook is making his way to the box. Coach Pickler still over there in a argument of sorts with two other YD coaches. He's arguing with G, isn't he? And now Pick is running his way over to the third base side. Maybe about who might come in to pinch hit next. First pitch on the way to Cook. He's underneath it on the swing. Strike 1. Jackson Reed back out there for the 9th. He fires, and Cook rounds it foul. Over towards that first base side. Strike 2. A righty on lefty matchup. The 0-2 flies high and away. A ball and 2 strikes to Casey Cook, the UNC Tar Heel outfielder, who is back in the lineup after a brief hiatus. And ball 2 flies on the outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cook, as always, with the powder blue cleats representing his collegiate team, the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inside half. Cook thought it might have snuck a little too far inside, but instead Reed gets the decision, and there's 1 gone in the top of the 9th. And Garrett Ostrander is the next pinch hitter. Maybe that's what was causing the holdup in the dugout. First pitch to Ostrander flies in high. Comes out of Cal Baptist. He's one of 2 from Cal Baptist on YD, along with pitcher Ryan Delgado. The 1-0 clips the outside corner, strike 1. 1-1 with 1 gone, top of the 9th. YD leads 10-2. Reed fires, and Ostrander does not go, but it's a called strike 2. One, two, swing and a miss from Ostrander, way out in front of it. And Reed sits down the first 2 as Brady Day comes up to the plate. Xander Darby comes up to the plate.
Bench emptying time for Coach Pickler. Good news for YD. Orleans down to their final 6 outs, headed to the 8th. Firebirds down 5.
First pitch to Darby at the shoulders, 4-1. Reed has made quick work of YD in the top of the 9th. It's been over 3 hours in this one, a lengthy one. But it's been lengthy down in Chatham as well, and they still have not caught up to us. We're in the top of the 9th, and they're in the top of the 8th. 2 balls, no strikes to Darby. Reed delivers the pitch, strike 1. At the bottom of the zone, Darby takes. Reed nods, working quickly here. Kicks, deals, strike 2. And it's even 2-2. Darby, the lefty out of UC Santa Barbara. Pitch on the way, lines it through the gap into right field. Comes in to pinch hit, gets his first hit in a long time. He's been hitless for a couple of games straight now, but Xander Darby finding his mojo here as a pinch hitter in the 9th, and YD will have a base runner. They won't go quietly, and that brings up Ryan Jackson, finally, a spot that hasn't been pitch hit for all day.
Jackson is 1 of 4 that are left for YD that started this game.
First pitch comes into Jackson at helmet level. Jackson has had a really good day defensively. He has also reached twice today, but is still hitless as he swings away at strike 1. Ahead of strike 2, goes down swinging once again, and it's 1-2. 2 gone in the top of the 9th. Wareham will have 3 outs left to work with before the end of their season. Ball 3 on the out, or ball 2 comes in outside. Lasters was convinced of the strikeout, already running back to the dugout. The pitch from Reed swung on at the last second over towards the fence on top of the YD dugout. Still 2-2 to Jackson. That's the first time he's made contact with a ball in this at-bat. Another pitch, this one high as well, and the count is full. Darby takes his lead, starts running, and Jackson rips it out towards right field. Stevenson is over on it, and that's out number 3. The day is over for the Red Sox at the plate. Wareham will have their final chance at things when we're back on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Go.
Grant Sherrod leads off for Wareham in the bottom of the 9th, finally down to the last 3 outs of this game. It's been one of the longest games of the season. Seems right to close things out here. Wareham is milking it. And Podeswa deals a first pitch strike, taken by Sherrod. Next pitch runs inside on the break, and it's 1-1.
YD has left, I believe I counted 15 men on in this game.
15, yep. More than yesterday. The 1-1 sneaks away from Garza for ball 2. And this one's crushed out towards left field, heading back on it at the wall. It's out of here. Grant Sherrod, a 2-for-3 day already, puts up his 3rd hit of the day, and it is the longest one. A solo shot for Grant Sherrod, and he'll go out with a bang as the score runs 10-3.
That was a moonshot. No doubter from Sherrod. And Podeswa has given up a couple of hard-hit balls. He got an out last inning, but the 2 he's given up have both been scorched. See how he answers here for the rest of this 9th.
First pitch strike comes into Grant Hussey. 1 for 2, also has 2 walks, so he's reached in 3 out of 4 plate appearances. 0-1, the pitch. Check swing, goes across, strike 2. Hussey shaking his head, he disagrees. I have to say, I'm kind of with Hussey on this one. That call might have gone YD's way. Regardless, it's 0-2, a pitch on the way, just outside. Ball 1. Taps the plate, readies for the 1-2. It's on the way. Spikes in the dirt before the plate, 2-2. The 2-2 swung on and missed, drop third strike. Garza applies the tag, and it's the second strikeout in 3 batters faced for Connor Pedeswa. 4 batters faced. Brings up Michael Brooks with 1 gone in a 10-3 ball game. Pedeswa crouches really low before getting back up to his stance. First pitch strike comes in. He's been throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. Wareham has yet to swing at the first pitch of an at-bat from Pedeswa. 3 to the left side of second. The 0-1. Tapped foul. 0-2. Theo Hardy screams, "Nice job," over towards his pitcher for encouragement. The nod, the pitch, way high as Garza pops up to collect behind the plate, ball 1. The 1-2 drops low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Underneath it, Connor Pedeswa, 3 strikeouts, 2 here in the 9th. He is dealing, and there is 1 out left in this game.
He's had the strikeout stuff, clearly. That's how he's gotten all of his outs.
Jimmy Brennan facing Pedeswa. He swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1.
Pedeswa was pretty strikeout heavy in the NECBL playing for the Mystic Schooners before he came here.
The 0-1 on the ground towards third. Hardy has it. The spin, throw, in time. And that is the game. YD takes this one 10-3. They led from the jump, did what they needed to do to put themselves in a position to win the East. Checking on that score over in Chatham, it's 13-8 Anglers in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 inning left over there. And YD will be scoreboard watching, but for now, this was a huge win for momentum. Huge win to get the bats going and the pitching. A nice debut from both Pablo Torres and Connor Pedeswa. Some D3 talent coming up to the highest level, and he performed absolutely. Luke, what are your biggest takeaways from today?
Yeah, I think it was a good get-right win for the team. They needed a big offensive performance, and I think they needed a win like this that really it has felt like, you know, we've seen at times throughout this, you know, back and forth streak, but one that they were really just in control of from the jump. They took the lead early in the second and carried this one along. That was what really impressed me. The offense delivered. I thought the pitching was really good. Gage Williams was phenomenal in the start. He's going to get a well-deserved winning decision out of this one, and I think the Red Sox are in a good place headed into the playoffs in a couple of nights.
The Red Sox move to 24-19-1. Orleans at 24-19 with a loss tonight. YD takes that 1-point win in the East. And we all will be waiting on that. For now, that's been the regular season. 44 games come and gone, and Luke and I have been so overjoyed to be here with you for all of those from Wareham, Massachusetts for the last time this season. We'll be back for the playoffs on Friday. Thank you for listening. From Perri, Kitei, Luke West, Poley, the whole team at YD, thank you and good night.